Today's video is brought to you by CuriosityStream. Alright, today we're looking at the Pixelspace Capsule 65. We will be hearing all three available plate options in this video as well. This was in stock briefly. It's now sold through and it's an open group buy for round 2 that's going to close Sunday night at midnight Eastern time. They're looking at Q1 2023 for delivery. There are a few confusing differences between the round 1 that we have here today and the round 2 that's in group buy, so we will be covering those as we go. Obviously, this is a 65% layout in a pretty unique looking case with these fat rounded sides. The weight for this board actually runs along the top edge and it has this rounded bubble thing going on too. This is PVD coated stainless steel. This is still an option in R2 as well, though the engraving process will be a bit different. We have badging in the top right corner that's gunmetal in all the R1s, but will be color matched to your weight choice for round 2. This version has a front height of 20 millimeters and a typing angle of 5 degrees. The update sees this front height lowered to 18 millimeters and a 6-degree angle, which I could see being more comfortable than this. I don't find anything particularly wrong with the dimensions on R1, though I do prefer using it with a wrist rest due to that higher than usual front height. All the anodizing here feels and looks great, though it does like to fingerprint, and the design doesn't have any visible hardware anywhere. The back looks really clean as well with just 4 feet and some engraving in the corner. Overall, big fan of the look and the weight, which comes in right about 4 pounds, 10 ounces, or just over 2 kilos. We have 3 different plate options here, FR4, POM, and polycarb, which they recommend. We've got a full complement of foam, including pour-on plate foam, case foam, and a PE sheet. So unless something's gone terribly wrong with the design of this board, we're probably gonna have that strong marbly sound that we get from stuff like Owl Labs and the QK65. This extends to the mounting style too, where we have the silicone sock method as opposed to full gaskets. PCB here is hot swap, and we're completely locked into just the one layout. It's an interesting design. We've got this little like nerve cluster of ramen noodles hanging on one side. The only RGB to speak of is on this little tab up top that looks pretty fragile but doesn't cause any issues, and it lights a little bar over the badge. You can change the color and the mode on this. The PCB is also QMK VIA compatible. It's got flex cuts and it's thin at 1.2 millimeters, which is becoming increasingly more common. They do include shims if you're using standard 1.6 millimeter stabs, but since I'm using these thin 1.2 millimeter TX stabs, no shims needed. You will need a 6.25U kit of whatever stabs you want to run because there's none included with this board. We've got a little daughter board in the corner of the top frame with a short JST cable and like 6 case screws, and that's it. Assembly here is a piece of cake. This is a super easy build. The switches today are the Nebula linears from Prevail Kiko. I think these go on sale Saturday afternoon. Like the Epsilons, they're pretty damn good stock, but they're really good if you lube them. I don't see any reason to film these though. These are all nylon housing, LY long pole stems, a 62 gram progressive spring. There's glitter suspended in here like stars in a nebula. Get it? Throwing long poles on top of everything inside this board is really gonna drive home that poppy, marbly sound. So no big surprise there, that sounds pretty much exactly how we thought it would. Not a big fan of the palm plate here. Safe to say at this point, I just don't really like palm plates. It's just got that super soft plastic on plastic sound. The decision for me is really down to polycarb or FR4, and for me, I think it's gonna be polycarb. It's got a nice pop and soft feel on bottom out. When you move to the FR4, you get a little sharper sound and you get a firmer typing experience, so just go with whatever sounds better to you. Even with the thin PCB, the flex cuts, and the socks, it's not a crazy amount of flex or bounce. It's just a nice, soft typing experience. Pricing for this starts at $316 for all aluminum and gets as high as $382 for the mirror PVD that we have here today. They also have a chroma that's really nice at like $365. It's got a unique look and it feels great. Overall, I like the board. I'm just not seeing anything here that really wows me over everything that we've seen lately. If you're purely looking for this sound and feel, you can get those in cheaper stuff like the QK65 and with a reduced wait time. But if you really like the look of this board and you're willing to wait it out, it is really well executed. It's a very easy build and there's no negative surprises surprises here in terms of quality, sound, or feel. Now, if you're the kind of person that loves surprises, you can find a ton of them on CuriosityStream, the sponsor of today's video. CuriosityStream is the world's leading platform for professional documentaries. It's kind of like Netflix, but much smarter and with less Tiger King. I mean, thousands of really high-quality documentaries that range anywhere from entrepreneurship to social issues to science and even nature docs like The Great Penguin Rescue, which follows Michaela as she learns the ropes as a volunteer at the South American Foundation for the Conservation of Coastal Birds. If you like tiny penguins, it's pretty cute. They also love supporting independent creators, so they've partnered with Nebula, which is our own independent streaming platform. On Nebula, you can find exclusive content, podcasts, ad-free versions, and even extended cuts of some of your favorite YouTubers. Great stuff too, like top tips on how to make the most of your streaming setup with Epos Vox, minimalism and design with architect Daniel Titchener, and one of my favorites, working titles, where creators dive deep into the opening sequences from some of our favorite video games. Right now, you can get access to both Nebula and CuriosityStream for 26% off or $14.79 per year. That's not a per month price. That's per year for access to the full catalogs of both Nebula and CuriosityStream. If that sounds like a good deal, it is. It's like a 1-2 punch of education and entertainment. Go to curiositystream.com/badseedtech to get started. Big thanks to CuriosityStream for continuing to support the channel, and thank you so much for your time. Next up is not keyboards, it's some audio and gaming stuff, and I'm almost ready to unveil this new studio space that I've been working on behind the scenes. That's why the videos have been a little slow lately, but I'm all caught up and I'm really excited to show this to you guys. That's it for today, and I will catch you all in the next one. Stay up.